My name is Busisiwe Dlamini Harodi, the campus principal. So today we are going to talk about electrophoresis. So basically what electrophoresis is, it is a technique that is used in the laboratory to separate molecules based on their size and electric charge. So basically what usually happens in your electrophoresis apparatus, what you need mostly, you need gel, because mostly with protein electrophoresis, we use gel electrophoresis. So that gel, it can either be agarose gel or cellulose acetate gel. So those ones are the mostly used ones. So that will be a gel. And then what we need as well is electric sorry, it's the electric charge. So what's going to happen is that on this side you are going to have your cathode, which is negatively charged, and then you'll also have an anode on that side, which is positively charged. Since our proteins, they are negatively charged, so what happens is that these charges, they are connected to one another via either, this can be a battery or any like a power source, something that can bring in the source. Another thing that is needed, which will be a buffer. So the buffer will be containing different ions, so it will have a specific temperature, pH, sorry. So that will be the buffer. As well, this buffer is going to be used to make sure that it transmits the electric current. And then the next thing that is needed, which will be the patient sample, the one that you are actually going to test. And then after the patient sample, then we can also have a quantification system, which is the one that is going to calculate for us. So what really happens here? So what happens is that as soon as the sample will be loaded on the gel, and then as the sample is loaded on gel, and then when the power source has been introduced, then the particles in the molecules in the sample will start to migrate, moving from the point of origin to a specific point on the gel, and it will only stay at the specific point on the gel based on their characteristics. So we will see the migration with bands, and then these bands are the ones that are going to be calculated by the quantification system to determine how much of that specific protein or that lipid is present in that patient sample. So basically that's what happens with electrophoresis. So there has to be an electrical current, there has to be a gel, there has to be a quantification system, buffer, and also your poles, which is your negative and your positive poles. So as you can see that the origin is at the negative side because our proteins, they are negatively charged. So as we know that a negative and a positive, they will attract each other. So that's why they will move into that direction. So based on their characteristics, whether it's the charge or the size, then those proteins will sit at a specific place on the gel. So, but they will definitely move from the point of origin. So basically that's what really happened. So electrophoresis, it is the migration of particles during an constant electrical current, whereby particles, they will move from a point of origin to a specific point on the gel based on their characteristics, and the bands that are formed, they get quantified to get a result. So but then there are factors that will influence this migration of particles. So those factors might be the charge of the particle itself, will affect will influence the migration or the movement. It will be the charge of particles, and as well the pH of the buffer, the gel that is used, temperature, the electric current as well can also affect the rate of migration, and then as well as the size of the particles can also affect the rate of migration of the particles. So basically that's it that I wanted to discuss with you about electrophoresis. So if you have any questions for me, or if there's something that I didn't explain properly, may you please write a comment there in the comment field. And if you haven't subscribed already, please click on the subscribe button and also the notification bell, so that every time when I upload a video you will be notified and start to learn with me. As